I'd like to welcome everybody to the January meeting of the Murfreesboro Parks and Rec Commission. At this time, we will call the meeting to order. I'd like to wish everybody a Happy New Year. As always, we'll start out with the prayer and pledge of allegiance, and Ron Washington has agreed to lead us in that. Ron, thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year to you, Tom, all you retirees, who mentioned out there, including myself. Join me for a moment of silence, please. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Everybody should have received their packet in the last 48 hours. Contained in that packet were the minutes from our last meeting, which was November 4th. This time we'll entertain any changes or corrections that need to be made to the minutes. And if there are none, a motion for approval.
I move approval.
Thanks, Gloria.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Mitzi, thanks. We've got a busy day. I always say the January meeting's one of my favorite because we get to hand out all kinds of fun hardware that just demonstrates why we have the best department and the staff in the state and in the country. So, Lanny,
that's correct.
We're going to hand it over to you, and I know Mayor McFarland's joined us today to help get this done. So, Shane, glad to have you.
Mr. Chair and members of the Commission, this is one of those days that we always look forward to. We never know going into the conference how we're going to do. Competition is always pretty stiff. Just to let you know, there were 32 award categories that we were eligible for. We submitted 34 different awards in 30 different categories. We won in 21 of those categories. 27 different awards this year. So we're very happy and pleased that those programs and facilities and so forth that you will hear about today. And thanks, Mayor McFarland, for coming. It means a lot to our department and our staff to have you here, and we certainly appreciate your support and the council's support for our parks and recreation programs and facilities.
My pleasure to be here today and get to come and, really I think it's no secret how great of a city that we have, especially within the Parks and Recreation Department. And, the council, see Mr. Smotherman and Mr. Washington up there, and you see how many kids and how many senior citizens, people that are involved in our Parks and Recreation Department, and that couldn't happen without all of you and all of the staff members who are out there. So it even goes to show this past weekend, I don't know if you guys kept up with the news. It was on Channel 2 News and many social media sites, but, we kicked off the Better Borough project last year, and it really was, Nate, we were just getting things moving along, and so we just had this idea to do a New Year's Day 5K, and Melinda Tate came up to me during the registration on New Year's Day and said, I thought you were crazy when you told me you wanted to do this. But we were expecting 200-ish to show up, and we had almost 600 show up on New Year's Day that came and ran out at Barfield Park. It was amazing to see how many cars were out there, how many people are involved. And so I'm pleased to say that I won the mayor award, but I was the only mayor who was running in the race. So I did set the record for the mayor. It's the only one that's ever happened. So, but we had Mr. Smotherman was out there. I know Mr. Shirley was riding around. He was out there early. He got out there at 7 o'clock in the morning to help, and then was riding on the back of a gator, taking pictures, urging people on during the race. But it was really neat to see the fire department, the police department, and all of these people who've not taken place in a 5K before, to even walking, they were high-fiving one another as they were going past each other. It was really cool, and we've unveiled a lot of the ambassadors so far that are going to be helping promote this project, and you're going to see a lot of cool stuff coming in the year to this next year. In November, Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation staff and volunteers received a total of 27 awards at the 2015 Tennessee Recreation and Parks Association Conference held in Kingsport, Tennessee. TRPA is a nonprofit professional society of approximately 1,200 individuals and agency members organized in 1952 as the leader in supporting highly effective professionals to achieve healthy, livable communities. TRP exists to strengthen and unite those committed to the benefits of parks and recreation. We'll start with the Volunteer Service Awards. These awards recognize an individual or organization that has made significant contribution to the field of parks and recreation and leisure services by performing volunteer services. This year, we are proud to honor 6 recipients from Murfreesboro. First, the Murfreesboro Tennis Association. The MTA makes the growth of tennis in the community a top priority. Over the past year, MTA has played a key role in helping the Middle Tennessee State University Foundation raised $1.8 million towards the construction of a $5.8 million tennis complex. Through their efforts and advocacy, the City of Murfreesboro, MTSU, and the tennis community were able to make the Adams Tennis Complex a reality. MTA plays a vital role in the future of tennis by assisting the Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Department in providing volunteers, recruiting members, and promoting league play. Also offering support in making tennis a success in Murfreesboro and Rutherford County. Mr. Gary Arbitz accepting. Thank you. Thanks, Gary. The next, we want to recognize Joe Getzinger. Joe began volunteering at the Wilderness Station in 2012. His love of outdoors and eagerness to share it with everyone he comes in contact with is contagious. Through Joe's contributions of time and knowledge to the Wilderness Station, he has enhanced our programs and the patrons who visit immensely. We are very grateful to have such a wonderful friend and volunteer at the Wilderness Station. Rachel Singer is accepting. Our next award is for Susan Hicks. Susan has gone above and beyond as a volunteer and advocate for the arts, specifically for the Perform Murfreesboro Theater program at Patterson Park Community Center. She has volunteered countless hours to researching, designing, and creating unique and skilled looks for the character of the productions through the use of makeup, hair, and costumes. Susan is a true friend of the arts community, and for that we honor her and thank her for being the MVP of Volunteer to the Arts. Congratulations. Thank you. Our next award is for Miss Tammy Smith. Tammy's consistent dedication to the Murfreesboro Greenway system through her role as a volunteer and board member of the Friends of the Greenway makes the Greenway better for our community and our world. She has helped with everything from cleanups to special events. Her leadership and service is very much appreciated. Our next award is for Vic Barthélemy. Vic volunteered both his time and expertise for the Murfreesboro Half Marathon this year, organizing the food tent for runners who finished the race. He coordinated the purchase and pickup of the food and directed the group of volunteers at the food tent. He organized the distribution of leftovers to go to 3 entities, a local trail run for kids, Greenhouse Ministries, and the MTSU track team. Not only did he organize the food tent and volunteers, he helped set up until 11 p.m. Friday night, showed up at 5 a.m. on race day, ran all 13.1 miles of the half marathon, and stayed until the last box was packed. Congratulations. Thank you. That's a lot of energy. Our next award is for Miss Janet Jones. Janet has volunteered at the finish chute for the Murfreesboro Half Marathon since its inception in 2007. Every year, her involvement has increased to the point where she is our finish chute expert. She directed the layout, medals, water bottles, ice towels, and volunteers in this area and offered many solutions to make the flow go much better. She helped set up until 11 p.m. Friday night and was there again at 5 a.m. and stayed until noon to help box everything up with a smile. Our Lifetime Member Award. Lifetime Member Awards honor and recognize individuals who have retired and during their tenure made numerous and significant long-term contributions within the Parks and Recreation profession. This year, the department submitted for consideration Tom Sage, former superintendent of Patterson Park from Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation, and Deborah Pascal, former program coordinator for Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation. They both were awarded the lifetime status.
Together.
Yeah, let's get together. That'd be great. I will put in a quick, we've had a lot of people retire over the last couple of years, just people who've given their life to this city, and we greatly appreciate what all of y'all have done for this community, because you look at our organizations, you look at our departments, you look at all the things that have gone up, and without good leadership, we couldn't have made it this far, and that goes to show what awards are for and what you're getting. So thank you so much. Special Events and Art and Marketing Award. The main focus of this award is to recognize innovation and creativity in special events, arts, marketing, and inspire others to develop similar programs in their own area. This year, the Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Department was awarded for the following. Best Arts Program, recognizing the nature play area at the Wilderness Station. Ms. Heather Waldrop is accepting. Congratulations, Heather. Thank you, Heather. The Best Marketing Campaign, and it's recognizing arts in the park, and this is Pam Williams. The Best Special Events, recognizing Pioneer Days and the Backyard Barbecue Cook-Off, Ms. Sheila Hodges. The Worksite Wellness Award focuses on physical activity, fitness, and wellness programs, policies and activities at the work site to heighten employee productivity, motivation, and general well-being. This year's award recipient is Chad Hale, Wellness Coordinator for his Yoga for Backs program. And Tori McDaniel is going to be accepting that. The Community Wellness Award focuses on promoting health and wellness for citizens of the community through such avenues as community outreach, community special events programs, and individual service opportunity. This year's award recipient is Jennifer Joins for her historic selfie program. Congratulations. Congratulations. The Childhood Youth Wellness Award focuses on building lifelong wellness skills such as increased physical activity, healthy eating, and positive health habits through programs and activities. This year's award recipient is Tori McDaniel for KidFit. The Robert H. Horsley Award. The Robert H. Horsley Award is given annually by the municipal county section to recognize community center personnel who have planned, conducted, or was responsible for the most outstanding recreation program during the year. This year's award recipient is Pam Williams, Cultural Arts Coordinator at Patterson Park. The Donald H. Stanton Award. The Donald H. Stanton Award is presented at the Community Center, determined to have the best overall statewide community center program. This year's award recipient is Tom Sage for Patterson Park Community Center. Can you stand up? The Dennis Rainier Award. The Dennis Rainier Award was developed by the athletics branch to recognize personnel who have demonstrated excellence in athletic planning and program. This year's recipient, Gary Arbett, Operation Coordinator of the Adams Tennis Complex. Great job. The Maynard Glenn Award. The Maynard Glenn Award is given annually by the municipal county intersection to recognize personnel who have planned, conducted, or are responsible for the most outstanding recreation program during the year. This year's recipient is Rachel Singer, Operations Coordinator of the Wilderness Station. Great job. 4-star awards in programs. The Conservation Outdoor Recreation Award is awarded to the Conservation Outdoor Recreation Program for youth, families, or seniors. Pam Williams for Trail Worms is this year's recipient, and also Heather Milliken. I saw those, and I went back to my 7th grade year back when they actually had paddles when they were in school. So that sort of scared me there. It's like a flashback. So, 4-star awards programs. Dr. Gilbert, I was noticing that. Yeah. So, not that I ever got paddled. The Arts Award is awarded to the best arts program for youth, families, or seniors. Pam Williams for One Act Fest is this year's recipient. The 4-star award program is the aquatics program is awarded to the best aquatics program for youth, families, or seniors. Kyle Goss for the Puppy Plunge at Burrow Beach Sportscom Outdoor Pool is this year's recipient. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Goodwin, I think we have another plunge taking place this weekend, don't we?
We do.
And
it's Saturday.
It's going to be nice and cool for it, too.
It's going to be nice and cool.
The 4-star awards for marketing and print. The Marketing and Print Award is awarded to the best print marketing. Becky Johnson for the 2014 annual report is this year's recipient. The 4-star award for a renovated facility. The 4-star award for renovated facility is awarded to a park or facility that has been renovated within the last 12 months. It may be a building, sports complex, trail, playground, splash pad, or other recreational facility. It may be an indoors or outdoors facility or a combination of both. The renovation at Sportscom is this year's recipient and is awarded to Bart Fight and Lanny Goodwin. Congratulations, Lanny. And residents who are watching, if you have not been out to the Sportscom to check out the new renovation, it is phenomenal. 4-star awards for a new facility. The 4-star award for a new facility is awarded to a park or facility that has been completed within the last 12 months. It may be a building, sports complex, trail, playground, splash pad, or other recreational facility. It may be indoors or outdoors, or a combination of both. This year's recipient is awarded to the Adams Tennis Complex, Gary Arbett and Lanny Goodwin. The 4-star Individual Service Award. It's one of the highest awards given in the fields of Parks and Recreation for excellence. The 4-star award for individual service recognizes a person's participation on a board, commission, committee, or council that influences, benefits, and strengthens recreation in the community. Receiving the award for her role on the Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Commission is Dr. Gloria Bonner. Congratulations. Proud of you. The 4-star Benefactor Award recognizes an individual, organization, or a company that has donated a significant gift to Parks and Recreation Department or agency for the purpose of enhancing the quality of life in their community. The nominee's gift to the department agency must have been a minimum value of $5,000, and the gift must be a financial contribution, a tangible item, such as a property, structure, or equipment, a product, or an in-kind service. For their contribution to the Adams Tennis Complex, MTSU's foundation is this year's recipient. And I know that all of the board and commission members appreciate, Chris. It couldn't have been possible, the Adams Tennis Complex, without a great partnership between the private sector, MTSU, and also the city. It's a great example of how, when people work together, how good things happen. So thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
All right, last but not least, we have the President's Cup. The Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Department received recognition as the department in the population category of 100,000 and over that most overall reflects the professional standards set by the Tennessee Recreation and Parks Association for contributions made to both the state and to the National Association for Recreation and Parks. And accepting the award is Mr. Lanny Goodwin. Okay. Yeah, and I want to read something real quick. I just noticed this, but I think it would be 2008 Murfreesboro Parks and this award has been started since 2005. 2008 Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation, 2009 Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation, 2010 Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation, 2011 Parks and Recreation, Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation, 2012 Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation, 2013 Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation, 2014 Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation, 2015 Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation. So in my count, that's 8 years in a row that you all have received this award. So congratulations, Lanny. You did again. I had my eyes closed.
We good? You don't see it until I see it from here.
Yeah, I was just playing. All right, thank you. Becky, am I missing anything? All right. Thank you all for so much for what you're doing and continue to do. It's another example of how Mr. Goodwin will say that Murfreesboro is a city inside of a park, and we We appreciate that, and I know the residents do too. It's a part of the quality of life in our Parks and Recreation system that makes it a great place to live for every resident that's here. So thank you all again for what you do.
Thanks for being with us, Shane.
Thank you.
Want to, before we move on, I just want to congratulate everybody that received an award. They were all well-deserved, but I want to give a special shout-out to the volunteers that received an award. We can't say it enough. We absolutely could not pull off the programming that we have in our city that makes our department special without our volunteers. So thank you guys for all that you do. All right, now we'll move on to the next item under new business. We've got several items that we'll try to cover quickly because I was informed before this meeting there is a meeting right after ours, so we got to clear the room. Item 2 is a consideration for approval of 2 new programs at the Wilderness Station. Rachel, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Good afternoon. I am proposing 2 new programs that we would like to have happen at the Wilderness Station this spring, and they're similar in nature, so I'm going to kind of combine them. I'm looking for approval of a new fee for both of these programs, and the fee is the same between the 2, so I will combine them. The first one is called Naturescapes and Wildlife Portraits. Unleash your inner artist. Join us at the Wilderness Station for an artist-led paint-along. We've got some great artists on staff at the Wilderness Station, and so they're really going to showcase what their talents are and what they can do for the public. We're excited about both of these programs. So this is a paint-along. We'll use some kind of naturescape or wildlife thing that the participants can paint along with and get instruction. That is going to happen March 26th. It's a Saturday. Both of these programs are for adults, ages 13 and up. The second program is nature journaling. So people can learn to hike, write, and draw what they see. This will be looking at observation skills and then how to relate that to paper. So that one is April 30th. It's for adults only as well. On both of these, all of the materials will be provided. The fee proposed is $15, and that just covers the materials that we're going to use. I'd be glad to answer any questions if you have on it.
Any questions of Rachel regarding either one of these programs? If there are no questions, we need a motion for approval as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve.
Thanks, Eddie. Need a second.
I second.
Thanks, Gloria. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. Rachel, thanks. Next is consideration for approval of a new program at SportsCom. Pam Williams is with us today. Is this the one for storybook cooking? Believe. Pam, welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're going to need. I hope you brought a big vehicle to move all those awards.
Yeah, I'll have to get some help. Okay, so I am asking approval for a new toddler program that we want to start at SportsCom. We recently started drum circle at SportsCom, so we've had success bringing some of our cultural arts programs out there, so we want to keep doing that. And so this is going to be a toddler program, ages 3 to 5, and it's called Storybook Cooking. And it starts with reading a storybook and then doing a non-bake cooking craft for the kids. So we're kind of combining reading and art and cooking and learning about eating healthy food all into one toddler program. And we want it to be a parent and me program where their parents help them with it and stay in the class with them as well. And we want to start this on March 11th and do it every Friday and have it from 11:15 to 12, so right around a good snack time for the kids so they can learn and then eat a snack as well. And the proposed fee for it is $3 per class per student parent pair. And that's the program.
All right. Thanks, Pam. Any questions, Pam, regarding this program? If there are none, we need a motion for approval as presented.
I move approval.
Thanks, Gloria.
I second.
And a second. Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Pam, thanks. Good luck. Item 4, Nate Williams is here to seek approval for a Blacksmith Association convention at Cannonsburg. Nate?
Yes, sir. Thank you. On May 20th and 21st of 2016, we're going to be hosting the Appalachian Area Chapter of Blacksmiths, their regional conference at Cannonsburg. This does a couple of things for us. We've hosted it for 3 years. It's great exposure for the city of Murfreesboro and also is a significant amount of revenue for Cannonsburg Village. Like I said, we've done it for 3 years. As part of that conference, a lot of the demonstrators like to stay close to their demonstrating areas. So we're requesting overnight usage on May 20th and 21st, 2016 at Cannonsburg Village. This is something we've done every year that they've been there and have not had any issues with that and don't expect anything different out of them. We'll notify Murfreesboro Police and go through normal procedures when we do allow overnight usage. But without any questions, we're requesting overnight usage at Cannonsburg on May 20th and 21st.
All right.
I'm glad to answer any questions you have.
Any questions of Nate regarding this convention at Cannonsburg? If there are none, we need a motion for approval as presented.
Move for approval.
Thanks, Eddie. And a second. Thank you, Ron. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved.
Thank you.
Nate, thanks. And hey, congratulations again on an article in the paper. It was really good. Item 5, 6, and 7, Lanny, are all yours. We have a contract amendment, the facility holiday hours, and the goals and initiatives.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Recently, the coaches at MTSU, the tennis coaches, came to us asking for us to consider some additional time at the Adams Tennis Center. When we first drew the contract up with MTSU, you can see that the date that we actually implemented was July the 10th in 2014. That was almost a year prior to us opening. And when we did the initial contract, we asked MTSU what they would need in terms of usage. We've got about 6 months under our belt now. The college coaches know their players. They know what their needs are, and they've come and asked that we do a contract amendment. This contract amendment went to the tennis committee yesterday. We spent probably a little over an hour, I would say, talking about it, debating it. The coaches were there. Mr. Massaro was there. At the end, the amendment that you see in front of you was approved by the tennis committee. And what that does is it changes the section in the contract, which is Section 3, Roman numeral 3, 1A. The rest of Section 3 stays the same, but 1A changes. And in 1A, what it does is it changes the priority from 6 courts to 8 courts between 1 and 4. It extends from October back to the first of the academic year. And then also, one of the things that we have found through our experience is the fact that the way that the coaches treat the fall season practice and the things that they do is different than what they do in the spring and the competition season. So Mr. Arbit was able to work with the coaches, and they actually, the ladies practiced in the morning and the men practiced in the afternoons. And what that did is it gave us an opportunity to open up 4 courts at the Adams Tennis Center in the fall, which was good for us. And so that is what the next, I guess you would say, first IA1 would do. And that gives them the opportunity to do that not only in the fall, but also if they see an opportunity to do that in the spring as well. We've worked very good with the coaches, very well with the coaches. And the coaches have given us a schedule that says, here's where the teams will be. This is the time that both teams will be at the Adams Center. This is the time that one will be traveling, one will be practicing. This is the time that both will be away. So it opens that door for us to, if those courts are available to allow the general public to use them. So that was the reason for provision 1 under A. And then also in the event of one or both of the MTSU tennis teams or individual tennis players advancing to the NCAA postseason, that we would give them the right to use 4 courts in case of a clement weather, because the coaches will tell you they want to play outside as much as they can. That's their intent. But during those particular times in postseason, if they have inclement weather and they have teams or individuals advancing, they want to have the opportunity to practice inside, and we would agree with that. Also, under 3, what they have found too is they brought up an example. They have an engineering student that has a 4.0 average, but he has a lab at 2 o'clock. So he can't, and we were all applauding the 4.0 yesterday, but, he can't practice during the 1 to 4. So there's times that those individual tennis players cannot practice. And so what they're asking is 10 additional hours through the week, and that would be based on availability. So if we have an hour open or 2 hours open, we would be able to schedule those. So that would be the amendment that we would place before the City Council tomorrow night for consideration. But because the Parks and Recreation Commission was involved in the initial contract, in the agreement, we wanted to bring that back to you and would like to get approval of this amendment to the contract.
Any questions of Lanny regarding the contract? As he mentioned, this did go before the tennis committee as well.
And it did pass.
Yes. If there are no questions, we need a motion for approval as presented.
I move approval.
Thanks, Gloria. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved.
The next on your agenda is the holiday hours and calendars for the facility. I always bring this to you at the first of the year and just ask if you have any questions. It's pretty standard each year, but also would like to get approval from the commission in terms of the days that we close. You can see that we follow all the standard holidays, but you can also see, like at Patterson, on the eves we'll close at 5 o'clock, and then we'll be closed on those particular days, New Year's Day, Christmas Day, etc. So we do have some employees that are working holidays, but we tried to schedule those accordingly.
You want us to vote on that, correct?
Please.
Okay. Any questions regarding the schedule? If there are none, we need a motion for approval as presented.
I'll approve, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Eddie, thanks. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, thanks, Ricky. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Schedule is approved.
Also, in item 7, goals and initiatives for our 2016-17 MPRD fiscal year. Of course, all of you know our fiscal year starts July 1 and runs to June 30th. And what I just want to bring to the commission now, and we're not going to act on anything today, I'm not going to ask you to do that, but just start thinking about what you would like to see is some for goals or for initiatives for our Parks and Recreation Department and programs that would start July and run through the next June. If it's facilities, capital, etc., those are different budgets, but you can still bring those forward, and we'll try to incorporate those in our next request. Angela and I will be sending something out to each and every one of you in about a week. That'll be kind of an outline that will help you organize your thought processes, but I think it's very important that we get your input as a commission of what direction that we're taking with our Parks and Recreation program. So we just wanted to say that's coming. Start putting your thinking caps on. I know a lot of you talk to the general public, the different groups that you associate with. Ask for input, and we welcome that for our next budget round.
Okay. Thanks, Lanny.
Okay. I think,
La-
excuse me.
Sure.
One other thing that I know Mitzi included in here is the list of the upcoming commission meeting dates. So I just want to bring that to your attention as well. And that concludes my...
All right. Thanks, Lanny.
You're welcome.
As always, we'll wrap up with Becky giving us a rundown of the upcoming events.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to let you all know we ran our buy one, get one special through the month of December, but you still have an opportunity to get in on a sale. We now are doing our 25% off individual yearly and monthly passes throughout the month of January. It ends January 31st at 5 o'clock, so people still have another opportunity to purchase a yearly or monthly pass, and it's at 25% off. Then I'd like to invite all of you to our 14th annual Polar Bear Plunge, which is this Saturday, January 9th. The gym opens at 8:30. We have the whole Arctic adventure in the gym, and then at 10 a.m. is the plunge, if you dare. So I'd like to encourage everyone to come on out to the Polar Bear Plunge this Saturday. Then Perform Murfreesboro is offering a creative writing class. So we just want to make sure that people are aware of this class. It's for ages 10 through 17. It will be held on Tuesdays throughout January and February from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. And it's free if they have a Perform Murfreesboro membership, and it will be at Patterson Park. That is a creative writing class. Then we will have Music in the Wild, which is going to feature Einstein's Folly. And that is at the Wilderness Station Saturday, January 16th. It is from 6:30 to 8:30, and it is free. So join us inside the Wilderness Station. It won't be outside. It'll be indoors where it's nice and warm. Also at the Wilderness Station, we have Earth Lab. That is a program that it's just a lab that's open, available at the Wilderness Station on Wednesdays from 12 to 5 for those ages 4 to 9. It is free, and in January they are studying geology rocks, and in February birds of prey, and that is at the Wilderness Station. Then we will have the Winter Wagon Hayride. That will be Saturday, January 23rd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., weather permitting. At Cannonsburg Village, it is $2 per person. They will be able to go on a wagon ride around the grounds and then have roast marshmallows around an outdoor warm winter fire. And then I just have a little photo gallery of people who participated in the New Year's Day 5K. That's some of the medals and people starting the race. And then we have some finishers, people who are proud of themselves for a job well done. And for all of our programs and events, you can obtain information on our website at murfreesborotn.gov/parks. You can download our Rec Connection, like some of our Facebook pages, or contact our main office.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Becky. A lot going on. Is there any other business to come before the commission? Being none, we stand adjourned. Thank you.